All right, here we are. Sorry I had to do it in two parts. It's just the way I'm recording it. If you guys didn't know, I recorded part one. We covered the current issue, the current release, which is like issue 187 or something like that, all the way up until my weekly issue number 5. And then we are picking up right where we left off. Here's the Walking Dead Weekly number 4. And thanks to a Matt member, I think my earliest issue is 27. I personally bought issue 18 for really cheap, and it was really beat up, coffee stained issue. On the back of the thing, the guy on eBay beat me in the head. It's right when I started reading the Walking Dead comics, so I didn't know anything about comics. Anyway, so that doesn't even count, but one of my earliest issues is 27, and then I have a crappy 18. Everything else is weeklies, which are the reprints. Here's a issue 2 variant from the Walking Dead Day, the blind bags. We have an issue 2 weekly. And keep in mind, I'm not made of money, so not having an original, this makes me happy. Like just having, it's a complete reproduction, like it's a reprint. I don't need that one word gone to feel good about having this in the collection. Like this, I'm hyped, man. It's the same art. I could pick it up and read it like it's the same single copy. It's got the same everything in it except for like the letter hacks, and the ads are different. And here's what I mean. Issue number 1 weekly. Oh, I love having this. It's just a reprint. It's not worth as much as, the original, which is insane. Speaking of which, I do want to mention somebody sent in a Matt mail. It says, hello, don't know if you have this, but if you do, here's another one from Izzy. Thank you very much, Izzy. P.S. Sorry about the bad handwriting. Don't worry, I have bad handwriting too. This is awesome. I do not have this. I mean, I have it, but this is a variant. It's the play the game, read the story. This is the different comic shops they put in the corner. I don't have this. This is a awesome, in my opinion, this is one of my favorite covers. They have the original. Then they have the one that Tony Moore did, 11 or 12 years later. No, 15 years later. They have the 15-year anniversary where it's this cover, but it's a modern-day Rick, and Tony Moore drew it. That's issue 150. And then now we have the Charlie Adler. It's the complete reverse. Charlie Adler's version of old Rick. So we get Tony Moore doing the new Rick on the old-looking cover, and now we get Charlie Adler doing the old Rick on the old-style cover. See what I mean? It's just friggin' awesome. I love that idea. Here's one I got from Infinity and Beyond, and Charlie even signed this one too, so that's really cool. It's got the gift certificate there, or I'm sorry, certificate of authenticity there. And here's my standard. I was only able to get one copy, but I'm good with that because I knew I had Charlie's signed one coming, and then I didn't know it, but Izzy hooked me up with another one, so that's super cool. There's like 20 of these or something out there. God bless you if you were able to collect all of them, because that's crazy. And here's the number 1 script book. This is, instead of having pictures, it's the script, which is fun for if you're a comic book writer. Here's issue number 1 in the black and white 10th anniversary. The thing that's awesome about this is it's a complete reverse of what is normally a Walking Dead comic. The cover is usually in color. This is black and white. And on the inside, it's usually black and white. This is color. So it's literally a reverse of the Walking Dead comic books. Black and white cover, color images on the inside. So cool. Here's an issue number 1, special edition, made to look like the one issue with Carl. I think it's issue 50. And it has special stuff on the inside, like, I forget, but it's got like special contents about the comic. Here's an issue 1 in color. It's a 10th anniversary edition. I wish they did the volumes in color. I would rebuy every volume. I think this story needs to get reprinted. One day, I feel like it will. And it needs to. It needs color, I feel. I like the black and white too, but it needs color. Here's a Walking Dead Skybound mystery box. This is going back to 2013. So I was collecting comics for The Walking Dead in 2013. This was Christmas of 2013. So yeah, from 2013 to 2019, that's how long I've been collecting The Walking Dead comics for. Here's The Walking Dead Day, issue number 1 variant. Here's another. This is a Comic-Con variant. They have Comic-Con conventions with issue number 1 variants for all these places in the corner. That's a New York City Experience one. Here's actually, I'm not going to read them all, but here's definitely a cool artwork. One with Abraham. These are all reprints of issue number 1 on the inside, but the art is different artists just doing their own thing. And we have zombies with tanks here. That's a cool one. You got Rick and Michonne there. That's a neat one. Here's Rick and Michonne on top of a car. You got a Rick there among some walkers with an orange background. That's pretty cool. Rick on a horse. What am I saying? They're all cool. Here's one of my favorites. Michonne in a diner with zombies on the glass. Not only do I have a black and white one thanks to the Map family, but I got a color version as well. Same for this. Love these. Got a black and white here. And then on the flip side, I got the color version there. So cool. Oh, also, I don't know how these got mixed up, but here's Negan. This is one that came in, I forget which this came in. It came in some blind bag set or some mystery thing, I guess. I forget. But I put it in one of those. And this is one that has a chip in it. So we couldn't use it for our comics. I think I was throwing it away. And I just put it in there for now. I don't want to leave it in there. When I get another pack for myself, I'll change that out. These are just some of those special edition Tyrese ones, Governors. These are probably the ones that no one wants. They're not really collectible, but I like them in the collection because it is part of The Walking Dead. I think this is probably one of the worst you can get in single issue form. It just has no value. And again, it's one that they gave away for free multiple times on Comic Book Day. But I got them because they put them in my bag or whatever. And thanks to the Map family, I got this, issue number 1. It's the same thing. It's a reprint. It's a Comic-Con cover. Pretty cool cover. And it's 9.4. It's one of those graded copies. Tell me if this is stupid. I feel weirded out because in the beginning of the box, we have those kind of freebie ones because they are special edition. It's not a part of the story, but it's like a spin-off. It's a special edition. So I got these, and they're pretty cheap. They're almost not worth anything. And then with them is this Negan. And although it fits, it makes sense, it feels wrong. I should probably put Negan in the end or something in his own section. It just feels wrong to have these cheap comics and then boom, here's a Negan one. It's actually a pretty valuable comic. And then it goes, that's how I have it. It just has special editions. Then we have the Walking Dead number 1 reprints in the front here. Because I do want to get a whole bunch of those collected up. There's a ton of them. But then we go from, this is officially what's in the line. First print, second print, third print, and variants all throughout the series that I'm collecting. Here's, just kick it off with the Walking Dead number 1. If I had the first issue, it would probably be in a safe, but it probably won't be in the box. But that's how I have it, and then it goes up. I do want to show you, though, where is it at? Somewhere around here. I think here. It's a bad example, but these don't have any doubles, so they're stacked the old way, and you can kind of see a little bit of a bend here. But I'm just saying, you can do what you want, but I think it looks better like this, where you double them up. It's just so even and neat. But yeah, so this box has my issue 1s all the way up until right around issue 114. So you figure I'm missing a lot in the middle though. So that's that. And then I have the All Out War one over here that has from All Out War all the way up until whatever. And then this one has the current, the rest. So 3 boxes, and I'm about to spill over into a 4th. Now behind my computer and desk, I have my Predator wall with some NECA Predators. Look at that guy just chilling. Just chilling with a skull. Yeah, I got some NECA Predators. I don't like the look of the bookcase, but until I invest a little bit of money at a time. I don't want to just go nuts all at once. Besides, I couldn't even afford that if I wanted to, but little by little, eventually I'll get a nicer setup. Plus, when we move and get more space. Anyway, long story short, down at the bottom here is where I have the trade paperbacks and whatnot. We'll look at everything since I'm going to do a video going over other titles I read as far as comic books are concerned, but we have the Punisher. This is just an essential. I've always loved the Punisher character himself, so this is just like a collection of Punisher stories. Some of them are so terrible. Here's Nailbiter. That was one I really enjoyed up until a certain point. It just got, I don't know what they did, man. It was like building up for this big epic thing, and then it just took a hard stop. It was like, oh, it got canceled. Let's just telephone it in. But yeah, I really enjoyed Nailbiter at first, but Revival, this is one I'm slowly getting into that I do actually like. Here's Volume 1 and Volume 2. If I had all the money in the world, I would have bought all of them, and I'd be reading them whenever I can. So I just got to pick and choose. Here's Southern Bastards. Love this story. I'm still reading it now. Here's Walking Dead. I should probably sell this. This is one of those limited edition ones. I'm just not the type to collect something like this. It's just not for me. It looks cool, but I'm never going to open it. You know what I mean? Let's say I was rich. I would probably read this as a compendium instead of that. I mean, it just has that king factor to it. I don't read the compendium like you peasants. I read this. You know what I'm saying? But I'm never going to be rich, so I should probably just sell that and do something with the money. I think it's only worth like $50 though. Here's, or maybe $100, I don't know. Here's Compendium 1, Compendium 2, Compendium 3, and I think Compendium 4 should be coming out sometime soon. I have a video covering what all these mean if you're curious. Here's the Walking Dead cover projects. Here's trade paperback number 1. I only have number 1, number 17, and number 22. Because I read them. I don't collect these. I prefer reading in volumes because it's like a perfect size. But I read these, and these I bought this because the book plate. And then this I bought because this is where I first started reading it, and they didn't have these at my comic shop. So I grabbed this to continue the story, and I went from single issues at this point. And I think I got one because I started reading this, and I liked it so much, I bought this. Anyway, we got Survivor's Guide. I got a hardcover that was sent to me for Christmas one year by Robert Kirkman. He didn't send it directly. It's signed. I think a company he was working with sent this as a thank you for helping to promote something. So I don't know why I signed it twice. Maybe they faked his signature and they were practicing. But somehow he signed it twice. I don't get that. Here's an All Out War. Remember, the Matt family sent this in. This is awesome. A hardcover All Out War. But it's not the same. It's all the sketch. It's the sketch version. We got a Here's Negan. I love this little one. I love that cover. Something about that. That artwork. We got the 2 comic books. Rick. And then the regular Walking Dead comic. Now, those are pretty neat. It was neat as a collectible idea, but I think me and my daughter are going to do a little coloring there. And here's an Invincible. I got one of the volumes, hardcover volumes here. Book 1. I like it. Again, if I was made of money, I would have bought them all, and I'd be currently reading them all. But I got to pick and choose. But I do have book 1. Invincible's a funny little book. It reads like it was supposed to be meant for kids, and then Kirkman just said, nah. And he went all out blood and gore. Oh, you guys have been screaming at me to get Gideon Falls. I see it in the comments all the time. I went to the comic shop and they didn't have any single issues. So I went to a different comic shop and I found the volume. And I'm going to start it. I hope it is good. I really hope it's good. I like volume number ones though, because they're always only $10. And I feel like that's the perfect price. You get a good amount of story. But, and it's definitely worth it. It's well worth $10 for the art and the story and all that. So, I'm going to start this, I promise. Gideon Falls, I just picked it up. And I do want to say this is a little tricky to show off because I'm kind of going through the comics I'm currently reading. And I don't know what I'm sticking with yet, but so far, this is the box that will contain the comics I'm sticking with. I'm always going to keep these. I love the art. Big Man Plans. I like Eric Powell's style a lot. So, I got these Big Man Plans. There's only 4 of them. I highly recommend it. I think it is a neat freaking little story. Love this. Highly recommend it. Here's a Dead Life. It's a zombie book by whatever that is. It's $6. It's the size of like 3 issues though. So it's real thick. You get a lot. It's done by Titan Comics and it's weird. Some of it's just weird. Some of it, I think I gotta read it again. But if you're a zombie fan, check it out. You might as well. It's good enough for a read. I don't know where it goes. I got issues 1 and 2. I didn't finish 2 yet. But when I first read it, I immediately looked at like the production date and all that. Because you guys know in Doomsday Kingdom, in issue 2, or even in the first issue, no, in issue 2 and then in issue 3, you're made to think that there's some stage of the zombie that can talk. Well, in this one, they do that. And I was like, that son of a bitch, you know? So, but it's different. Once I read it further, it's really different. They're all like deformed, and then they can turn into normal people again, and then talk and lure you closer, and then get all deformed. But ours is real different. It's the first stage. It's people that don't die and turn yet. They have the ability to repeat what people say. So they can't talk and have a conversation, but they can repeat something that they hear. Like somebody repeats, help me, help me. And it's neat because it's the guy's neighbor's attacking him. And as he's attacking him, he's saying, help me, help me. So it is very different, but at first it just gave me a little spook. I was like, oh my God, someone else is doing it. But yeah, that's Dead Life. I got to really read these. I don't know. I think there's so much there. Some of it I didn't like, found a little boring, but then I was like, wait, there's something there that might be interesting. Here's Dead Rabbit. Like this a lot. I don't know what happened, but they stopped making it. There was a lawsuit about some bar has the same name or something. And this is now worth like $30 or $40. Something ridiculous. I might as well sell it. If they're not going to continue the story, I mean, come on, just send out the story and call it something different, you know? Call it The Rabbit. Don't even call him the Dead Rabbit. I really don't care. Rewrite it. Anyway, we got Die, Die, Die by Kirkman and Scott Gimple. This one, I got issue number 1. I got issue number 2. I think I got doubles of 2. They're slightly different. I got number 3. One of these, I think it's issue 2. Oh my God, I love that. The art, the coloring, the story. I actually really dig this. Yeah, those are different. Here's issue 4. I'm really excited to see where this goes, and I hope to God it goes somewhere interesting. I'm so sick of comics coming out, being like on fire, and then they cool off, and they never get interesting again. Then they get canceled. Or comics that come out and you think it's going to be awesome, and it's just not. Here's Gasolina. This one, I just don't know what it is about it. I like some of the color covers, the artwork. I like some of the ideas, but the story just keeps losing me. There's no draw to come back and read it. But I'm going to give it one final chance. If I don't like it, I'm just tossing it. This is Eric Powell. He makes these hillbilly anthology stories. I picked up a couple because I love his artwork. Oh my God, I love his artwork. I like some of them. again, if I was made of money, I'd be buying these every month, reading them. Here's The Last of Us. Obviously, just checking up the backstory. I don't collect it, though. Mother Russia. This is from Alterna Comics. $1.50 for your comic, and it's done in that old comic book paper. And this is a zombie story. One of these made me furious. Yeah, I think it was Mother Russia. Yeah, Mother Russia made me furious. Mother Russia is definitely worth a read. I highly recommend it. What made me furious is the fact that it's a 3-issue short story about a girl crossing the fucking street. And this is the perfect example of why I cannot fucking stand, and I don't want to support, and I don't want to tolerate short stories like this, because it always has such a neat and longer lasting, like this should have been 20 or 30 issues for sure. It should have had better characters, deeper development, blah, 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 blah. Make the world bigger. There should have been better world building. Instead, it's like, here's a neat little taste of what could have been a side story in a cool comic series. It's all about her crossing the fucking street. That's it. 3 issues and she crosses the fucking street. Oh my God, I was furious. And I'm furious because it had potential. It could be something more. But this is what we get with comic book short stories. It's like a cool cover, cool concept, but at the end of the day, your character just crosses the fucking street. Here's a Murder Falcon trash can or ash can comic. I didn't read it all the way. I got one of these Batman the Damned. Love the friggin' art in here. I'm just going to sell it though because people made a big deal about Batman's cock. So I'm just going to sell that. I really don't care to collect it. I love the art though. I want some poster or something about some of the art in there. Oblivion Song. I'm really hoping this picks up because I want this to be good. This is keeping my interest so far. I have issues 5, 6, 7, 8, and I think I got 9 at the comic shop currently. I just got to go pick it up. Slots, that's a cover that looks like issue 100 of The Walking Dead. This started out good. Again, if I was made of money, I would buy it and continue it, but it feels too generic, and it feels too already done. Been there, done that. There was nothing new to make me, okay, I need to spend my money. Like this. This had me hooked. Southern Bastards, so good. It did flatline a little bit, and I'm waiting for it to pick back up. Stranger Things. I asked, how can they possibly tell this story? Because Will didn't do anything that we know of event, of interest. And I thought it would be so interesting to find out how Eleven knew of Will and all that. And it's exactly what you would think. It's just him walking around, repeating. I feel like the writers dropped the ball. You could have done something really cool. Sure, there's cool things where you see where he was on the other side of the wall when his mother was trying to get through it. But I feel like the writers just basically connected the dots. Where does he need to go? Oh yeah, his mother, he meets her here. And they didn't really put enough. This wasn't, I don't feel like it was a passion project from a writer's standpoint. I think you phoned it in. I'm sorry. But I got issue 1, issue 3. Here's Trespasser. This is another perfect example. This is from Alterna Comic. It's one I do highly recommend. It's a 4-issue mini-series, and this is probably a better example of something that should not be a 4-issue mini-series, and it should have been something that ran at least 20 to 30 issues. More world building. They started to do something incredible with this. Incredible. And I'm just going to do a light spoiler here, but the alien comes down, and it's a part of the world where people are going hungry and stuff. And you know what? I'm not going to spoil it. I think you need to read this. However, stop at issue like 2 or 3 because it'll just make you mad when you realize they just jump in time just to wrap the story up, and it should have been a longer story. There was so much potential with this. This pisses me off. There was so much potential. Look at that cover. I love that. And they really just shit the bed by rushing it, cramming so much good story. This could have been a really good story. And they just cram it into a 4-issue comic that just should have been bigger. Here's a comic I had when I was little. I don't know why I still got it. I just do. I just have this because it looks like a Walking Dead issue 100 cover. I just have this because it looks like issue 1 of The Walking Dead. I started reading this, and then I kind of fell off with it a little bit. It was going a little too slow. But I do want to go back to see if this, if it's worth finishing. I do have another stack of comics. For example, Paper Girls. I got from issue 1 on. Paper Girls was a home run right out of the gate, but after the first volume, it shits the bed and it doesn't stop shitting. It's constant diarrhea of nothingness, and it's just fucking terrible, man. Just terrible. It's just so terrible. It's just terrible, man. Just so boring. And the shit they write shit just to be weird and quirky. It's like, who the fuck is reading this? I don't know. I don't know. And the worst part is, I know it's not a hot seller because I tried to take it in and sell them. They're in mint condition. And I had multiple comic shops look at me and they're like, bro, we wouldn't take that if you gave it to us for $5. And I'm talking a whole stack. It's a whole bag full of the volumes, the actual single comics. They were like, that won't sell. Even if you said sell this for $5, it's not gonna sell. I was like, oh my god. So we'll see. I have a whole stack. If anyone's a big Paper Girl fan, let me know. Holla at your boy. Anyway, that's pretty much it for my yearly what have we gotten so far. I think I might want to do what I did a few years ago when I first started getting into comics. Every other week or something, when I pick up, not week, every other month or every 3 months, I think I was doing it. When I get comics as gifts or when I get comics at the comic shop, do like a haul video and show what I've been reading. I kind of miss that because I used to rely on what you guys said as recommendations for what's good and what's on and popping, and I miss that. So I might do that every 3 months or so. Maybe we'll touch base again. Excuse me, touch base again. But you guys let me know what you're reading down in the comment box below. I hope this video, which was highly requested, I hope people actually watch it and enjoy it. I doubt anyone will. It's way too long. I don't know if we can continue doing this every year. They're just going to get longer and longer. But I'll shut up to make it shorter. Thoughts and opinions in that comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn.